One thing I wanted to know about personally is specifically your Houseless outreach. What kind of work are you doing specifically with the Houseless communities?
So weekly we serve 100 hot meals, 100 cold meals, and then we provide change kits, which have a lot of different items in them that would help you get through a week, right? And so we do that every week. We recently did a pop-up shelter when temperatures were like, 8 or 9 degrees outside in Louisville. There are still people who get turned away from shelters because, just to be frank, like there's certain people that shelters want to help. And there are certain people that shelters don't want to help. But that doesn't mean that you shouldn't have warmth, right? Like at freezing cold temperatures, that shouldn't be the way that we're moving who has a place to stay and who doesn't. Yeah. And because we're a needs-based organization, we made sure we could fit that need. So our Umoja team is amazing, and they literally set up a pop-up shelter in
less than 24 hours.
24 hours.
Easily 18, somewhere between 18 and 12 is what I'd say.
24 hours in order to be able to have a functioning shelter for I think it was about 25.
Yeah, it was 25. People. And that was some crazy mobilization that happened there. We were reaching out to community partners. We have a button program where we have restaurants who are able to, when you go through and check out, you can give them $10, which eventually we're able to cash in. And so that's one of the things that we were doing there, was trying to get those partners to come in and be feeding people, because it's good food and people deserve good warm food. Tacos, yes, please.
That's what we are looking to further expand our Umoja program, and looking into transitional housing in the near future. And so that's one of their big goals that they're working on, is moving into a space where they can start to look at transitional housing for folks.
And there's something, I own up to it, there's a lot of different arms in CTCT.
Yes.
They're doing something with technology right now. Do you know about that?
So the technology, it's to support the transitional living. So they're trying to build a system in order to support the transitional living program.
Yeah, so they've got hotspots and tablets and stuff that they're able to take with them when they do the 100 hot meals. Because if you think about it, the libraries, you have to get an appointment at this point to be able to go in and just to use a computer. Yes. And if you think about it, that means you can't check your email. There's just you can't do research, look up where how to get a job or where to get a job, that's a barrier in being able to say hey, we've got this hotspot in this iPad. You can get on Facebook,
100%.
Message your friends, I don't know,
during COVID, where outside of a lot of our work that we do, we never really shut down. We took off during COVID, and so right now a lot of people are doing things virtually, and there's not a lot of places for you to drop in and do an interview or drop in and get services. And so it's kind of another part of our whole thing of eradicating barriers. We're bringing it to you, and so that that's not a barrier for you anymore, and then you can choose what you do with it at that point. And just making sure that people have access to things
where they're at, they don't need to jump over any hoops. Where you're at is where 100%. You deserve these services.
And you don't owe us anything for it. Not
always
a picture.
Free. Always free with CTCT.
We've had a lot of people reach out to us and ask, we want to help the houseless community, but they have no idea where to start. What direction would you guide those people to if they came and asked what can they do to help the houseless community?
I would guide them directly to our Umoja team and I would say this because our Umoja team is very intentional as well, with our other services. They don't just go out and serve food to people. They talk to them, right? So they're talking to you and they're asking you, what do you need? What do you want to see in your change kit? And I think that a lot of times we have this, as people who help, right? I'm a trained, social worker. And so, you want to help people out. We think that we know how to help people, and we don't.
It's a bad presumption.
We don't know how to help people. People know what they need. And so empowering people to voice what they need is something that we also work towards here. So I think that would be the best part. Go out with our Umoja team and see how they ask.
Gotcha. And that's the Umoja team?
Umoja,
Yeah. Umoja team. Is there a separate website, or can they find that on changetoday.org?
There's an Amazon list, so if you're looking for something directly to do, you can reach out to the Umoja team. You can be out there doing moving 100%. The stuff, talking to people. There's also an Amazon list, I believe, that is like, because these chain kits are awesome. We've got like hand warmers, toenail clippers, razors, gels, like all of this stuff. Contraceptives, condoms, like things that you would maybe not think of, but they're all on that list. And if you want to donate, you can donate cash money, which we always accept.
Right.
Because that allows us to do stuff like when we're like, oh, we would like to buy a Surface tablet, we can buy that. But there's also like the material needs of the like hand warmers when it gets cold, socks, like sunblock in the summer, like that kind of stuff. That's like preventative of other issues.
Tents, tarps, those kind of things.
Yep.